This wasn't what I expected the desert to look like. It's easy to think of a place like this as empty, but standing out there, it doesn't feel that way at all. There's a lot of beauty in it. It just asks you to slow down, to pay attention in a different way. This is my first time exploring the American Southwest in years, and this trip is about challenging my perspective and experiencing this landscape at its most wild. Through snowstorms and back roads, from arches to islands in the sky, not really knowing what I'd find, but open to seeing it a little differently. I arrived in Zion National Park just as a winter storm was beginning to move in. Snow is pretty rare here in the canyon, with only a few storms rolling through each year. It's not exactly what I expected for my first day in the desert, but over the next week of road tripping through Utah's 5 national parks, I have a feeling the desert might be full of surprises. As the snow continued to fall, I made my way up to Canyon Overlook, a short, accessible trail just beyond the Zion Mount Carmel Tunnel. I've always struggled a bit with the desert. It's felt like a place that doesn't change all that much. Like, once you've seen it, you've kind of seen it. But standing up there with the snow coming down, that idea started to fall apart pretty quickly. Everything felt like it was shifting in real time, and every few minutes, the canyon looked a little different. The colors changing, the textures softening, the rocks slowly being covered as the storm moved through. I spent a while just moving around up there, trying to take in this winter wonderland unfolding before me. Eventually, I started thinking about the drive back to my hotel in Springdale, just outside the park. The snow was starting to build on the roads, and you could feel conditions deteriorating pretty quickly. So I made my way down before dark, which definitely felt like the right call, as the whole canyon was turning into a snow globe. But it was hard not to feel like this was just the beginning. If this is what the desert looks like on day one, I have no idea how the rest of this trip is going to feel. I came back to Canyon Overlook early the next morning, and it felt like a completely different place. The storm had moved through overnight, leaving the entire canyon blanketed. Every ledge, every tree, even the canyon walls, all of it coated in white. It's kind of hard to believe how much everything has changed overnight. And at the same time, this winter wonderland is incredibly fleeting. By the end of today, most of the snow will probably be gone due to the warm desert sun. But this moment, beneath the towering, snow-covered walls of Zion Canyon, sure is magical. Zion was actually one of the first places I ever visited out west. Years ago, when I moved from Minnesota to Washington, I packed everything I owned into my tiny little Toyota Corolla and made the drive across the country. I didn't really have much of a plan. I just knew that I wanted to be closer to the mountains. And Zion was one of the first stops along the way. I remember feeling completely overwhelmed by it, not just by the scale, but by the realization of how much there was to experience out west. And that trip ended up changing a lot for me. It was one of the first times I really felt pulled outside my comfort zone. And in a lot of ways, it's what set me on the path that I'm still on now. I finished the day down by the Virgin River, with the Watchman towering in the distance, the light starting to fade, the last bits of snow still holding on in the shadows. The desert offers a different kind of beauty than what I'm used to, but I'm starting to understand it more. It's definitely bittersweet leaving Zion after such a short amount of time, but at the same time, it feels like this trip is just getting started. It's currently -10 degrees here in Bryce Canyon National Park, and I can barely feel my fingers. Honestly, it took a lot to get out of bed this morning for sunrise, but these moments are rare and life is short. And standing here now, it's hard to imagine being anywhere else. Bryce Canyon is one of the most unique landscapes in the entire country. It's a series of natural amphitheaters carved into the edge of a desert plateau. And instead of sheer canyon walls, the landscape is filled with thousands of hoodoos, those tall, quirky-looking rock formations shaped over thousands of years by erosion. Originally, I was planning on hiking the Navajo Loop, but it was pretty busy, so I decided to change things up and head down the Queen's Garden Trail instead. And honestly, I think it worked out for the better. The trail winds its way down into the hoodoos, and almost immediately, you're surrounded by them on all sides. Every turn feels a little different. The shapes, the textures, the way the light hits everything. It's constantly changing as you move through it. I ended the day over at Bryce Point, one of the highest overlooks in the park, looking out across the entirety of the Bryce Amphitheater. As the sun dropped lower, the light softened and the whole canyon began to glow. I'm feeling an overwhelming sense of gratitude to have experienced this place in its winter coat. And even though my hands are still warming up, it was definitely worth it to witness such incredible beauty. Winter in the Southwest can feel like all four seasons in a single day. You can wake up to frost on your windshield. By midday, you're hiking in the full sun. And then before you know it, a crazy snowstorm sweeps across the desert. It definitely keeps you guessing. Trips like this have taught me that what I wear matters more than I think. For this trip, I built my wardrobe around adventurous apparel from Huckberry. They carry closet staples that I've trusted for years, like Patagonia, but they also have in-house brands like Flint and Tinder, which I've really leaned into on this adventure. The denim has enough stretch that I can scramble over desert rock with a camera in hand, or even go on a short hike without feeling too restricted. And the layering has been so essential over this past week. I've practically been living in this wool station jacket from Flint and Tinder, and it's been keeping me nice and cozy on these cold mornings. Out here, versatility isn't a luxury. It's the difference between cutting the day short and staying out for that last bit of light. And when your gear just works, you can focus on what truly matters, like this incredible landscape behind me, the shifting weather, and the road ahead. This place is hard to wrap your head around. This is Marlborough Point, just outside of Canyonlands National Park. I'm looking out over layers of canyons that just keep unfolding, further than my eyes can really follow. I got out here just before sunrise and just stood here alone for a while, feeling so small and insignificant, watching the light work its way across the landscape. After leaving Bryce Canyon, I made my way east towards the Moab area, and everything out here feels completely different, more open, more rugged. I have 3 national parks left to visit on this adventure, and the next few days of weather look pretty spectacular out here. I think we're in for quite a treat. Driving into Canyonlands National Park feels a bit underwhelming at first. From the road, all you really see is the top of the mesa. But the moment you step out of the car and walk in any given direction, everything changes. The ground just drops away, and suddenly you're looking out over this massive network of canyons as far as the eye can see. This park is spread out across multiple different districts, covering a huge area of southeastern Utah. And the one that I'm currently exploring is appropriately named Islands in the Sky. That sounds pretty good to me. I ended the day at the Green River Overlook, truly one of the best places to catch a sunset in Canyonlands. From here, you're looking out over the Green River as it winds its way through the landscape. It's a wildly expansive scene. As the sun starts to drop, everything begins to shift. The shadows stretch across the canyon, the colors soften, and the whole scene just slows down. Coming out here, I wasn't really sure how I'd feel about the desert, but the more time I've spent in it, the more I've started to appreciate it. Not always in the obvious ways like today. Sometimes it's a lot quieter and more subtle than that. But if you give it time, there's a lot more to these landscapes than you might expect. And standing out here now, watching the last light fade across Canyonlands, I think that I'm starting to understand it. The next morning, I made my way over to Arches National Park, just on the other side of the highway from Canyonlands. And right away, this place feels different. My first stop was Park Avenue, a short walk just inside of the park. You step onto the trail, and almost immediately, you're surrounded by these towering walls of sandstone. It feels less spread out than Canyonlands, but more immediate. And even though the landscape is completely different, the scale still hits you in the same way. That feeling of just how small you are out here. From there, I headed over to the windows area. This is one of the best places in the park to bring a camera, by far. All throughout Arches, these formations are constantly being shaped by wind, water, and time. What starts as solid rock slowly breaks down, and over time, it begins to erode and open up into these arches. And out here, you can really see that process everywhere you look. More than 2,000 natural arches have been documented in the park, along with spires and balanced rocks scattered across the landscape. There are arches in every direction, and a lot of natural framing that makes it really fun to explore. Being out here, I really started thinking about how much variety in landscape we really have across the US, and how easy it is to get used to one type of landscape and forget how different things can feel just a few states away. Back home in the Pacific Northwest, I'm surrounded by mountains and forests that feel really familiar to me. But coming out here into something that feels completely different, it's felt like a bit of a much needed reset. With daylight quickly fading, I made my way back to the windows area to pay a visit to my favorite arch in the national park, Double Arch. It's truly a scene that's hard to fully take in at first. Two massive arches towering over 100 feet above you, windows to the deep blue sky overhead. The scale here really is powerful. Arches really ended up being the sleeper hit of this adventure thus far. I didn't have big expectations coming into the park today, but it really surprised me how much I loved it. And I'm definitely going to be coming back here sooner rather than later. Utah is home to 5 national parks, often called the Mighty Five. And today, I'm checking off my last one, Capitol Reef National Park. Even just arriving at the edge of Capitol Reef, you can tell this place has a completely different feel. Unfortunately, the roads deeper into the park aren't in great shape right now after the recent snowstorm, so I wasn't able to explore much further. But it's definitely a place that I like to come back to. Have you ever wanted to visit another planet? As it turns out, the easiest way to do that is to visit the Hanksville area of Utah. Just outside of town, a network of remote dirt roads leads you out towards Factory Butte. And the further you go, the more the landscape starts to change. And Factory Butte towers over it all, this massive, isolated formation surrounded by miles of badlands. It feels completely different from anywhere else on this trip. And just beyond Factory Butte is the appropriately named Moonscape Overlook. This whole area is such a departure from the rest of Utah. Less dramatic in color, but the shapes, the textures, the way everything is layered together, it really does feel like you're on another planet. When I got to the overlook, it unfortunately didn't look like there was going to be much of a sunset. But I had come out all this way, so I figured I might as well wait it out. And then, right at the last second, the sun found this tiny gap along the horizon, and everything just glowed. It only lasted a few moments, but it was easily one of the most magical sunsets of the entire trip. I saved the best for last for this adventure. I've been looking forward to visiting Dead Horse Point State Park for a long time, and it felt like the right place to end this trip. From here, you're looking out over a dramatic bend in the Colorado River, nearly 2,000 feet below. It surely has to be one of the most spectacular views in the entire Southwest. The scale, the depth, it's truly mind-blowing. Coming out here, I I wasn't really sure how I'd connect with this landscape, but over the past week, it started to shift. Slowly but surely, I discovered the magic that I've been missing out here amongst the sandstone. It didn't happen all at once, but through the fleeting moments and unexpected turns that this past week has taken. And I think that's what I'll bring home from this trip. That sometimes it's not about finding a place that immediately stands out, but learning how to see something a little differently. Because there's a lot of beauty out here. You just have to notice it.